My name is Emil. I'm a digital strategist. I answer marketing questions. Today is episode number 48, and this is a question that's near and dear to my heart truly. It comes from a colleague of mine, and it's all about the state of affairs for local small service businesses going into 2022. This question is going to be familiar to both account managers and to small business owners alike. Most small business owners, it's not a secret, have tried the marketing game and have thrown very good money after bad, month after month, and saw no results. So when a good marketing manager comes along, how do you know to trust them? And then why should I spend so much money on third-party platforms like Yelp or House or Home Advisor when I want to really build my own online presence? It's a common pushback question we get. We all are very familiar with it, so I'm going to be the sounding alarm to small business owners for 2022. In this video, I'm going to cover what this landscape really looks like for small businesses in 2022, what every small business owner needs to hear, whether it hurts or doesn't, and my 12-month hack that wins any market every single time. But first, every Sunday, I send out one email that recaps all the marketing questions I answered that week. If you want to stay up to date on best practices, strategies, and become an overall stronger marketer, I think you would really enjoy this recap. It would mean the world to me if you could subscribe to the newsletter and my YouTube channel. Now, back to the answer. 2020 sounded the alarms of how critically important it is to have a well-established online presence for local businesses. 2021 rewarded those that invested even more into their online presence, and 2022 is going to be the same. You need to be aggressive, and you need to do things the correct way. Small businesses have some inherent weaknesses that can become debilitating as they start to establish their online presence, such as lack of funding. Small businesses are often undercapitalized. Also, they're smaller teams that may not have expertise knowledge in every domain that they have to be involved in. And number three is lack of time and energy. There's a lot to be done as a small business owner and a small business team. But the one that really gets exploited the most, knowledge gaps. A small business owner is expected to understand how Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, Google, Google Local, Google Search, Google Ads, Facebook ads, how all of these operate, interconnect, and how to do them according to best practices. It's just unreal. That's why an entire multi-billion-dollar industry exists for people like us who manage other people's accounts. But unfortunately, these knowledge gaps get exploited to such a degree, because it really is easy to do, that it puts people like us, marketers, in the same boat as less than scrupulous contractors. Contractors and marketers basically have the same thing going for us. Most people have been burned more than one time by them. So when we, good, honest, thorough marketers meet a small business that wants to do well and they're ready to take it to the next level, there's going to be some hesitation and there's going to be some trust issues, and I don't blame them. Every small local business owner needs to know the next few things, because once you know these and you go to hire a freelancer or an agency, you can discern and spot their BS that fast. Number one, cheap is expensive. No matter what anybody says, cheap is expensive, especially in a market that's heavily saturated like the PPC market. Everyone needs a good agency or freelancer. So the rates of those that are really good are high. The ones that are like, oh man, I need to work, I'm hunting the newer, I'm new to market, don't give them your money. They're not going to do anything for you. You don't want to be their learning curve. And if they're like $500 a month or something, I promise you, it's just going to fall apart. Cheap is expensive. Number two, it will take time. There's no shortcuts here. There really isn't any shortcuts because everyone's doing the same thing. So consistency plays off, and consistency can only happen over time. There's no cheat code. There's just no cheat code. I can't tell you how many people are like, don't you have a special way you can do this? Yeah. It's going to cost you money. It's going to take some time. Simple as that. There is absolutely no special button switch or feature that I have available to me that nobody else does. Content is the new location. Companies investing in good, consistent, high-quality content are going to win hands down over those that aren't. Invest in your business. Cannot tell you how many small business owners I have met that wanted me to manage their account, especially when I was younger and new to this, and they're riding around in a $60,000, $80,000, $90,000 truck, but they only want to spend $500 a month in ad buy, or they only want to spend $500 a month on their SEO team. Get out of here. Just get out of here with that junk. But when you do invest and you do want to win, here's what you invest in. SEO is absolutely critical for a small business and not national SEO that a lot of overseas companies try to get you invest, but in local SEO campaigns. Buy a course on a local SEO, spend one weekend just learning broad strokes, learning what up-to-date SEO looks like. You're not going to be running your SEO, you just want to be able to spot the BS. And a good agency that has a good feel that recommends things locally, they're going to understand what to do here. But you just want to kind of really focus on the finer details of local SEO. It's much different than the broad SEO tactics that a lot of people preach. I don't know if I mentioned this, but content matters. These could be videos that you record once a week about your business, about a project that you're on, best practices. A video series like mine here, the Ask Emil series, is a strong piece of content. Spend a few hours a week. Over a course of a year, it'll pay for itself billions of times over. This is the one that breaks a lot of hearts. But you need to bring $30,000 to $60,000 to the table in annual ad spend, bare minimum. Make no mistake, this will make you a shit ton of money, but you need to be committed to your marketing spend. Now, if you're a business making $300,000 or more, this is where this really starts. If you're a new startup and you're barely making ends meet, by no means am I suggesting this. Here's the 3 fronts that every local business has to win on. Number 1 is reviews, and you want to be reviewed in a lot of places, not just one. Do not be beholden to any one platform. But reviews and a review strategy are critical. If your local team doesn't talk about how to up your reviews almost out the gate, then this is a red flag. Social, how to actually use Facebook and Instagram and YouTube to communicate with your audience and your local business. Because that social play is what everybody's engaged in. Whether you like it or not, everyone's engaged there. Also, I don't know if I mentioned content. Content is absolutely critical because the company that puts out the content is the company that has a reason to be in your social feed. Here's my 12-month roadmap that I crush for local businesses. And I want you to understand what I mean when I say this. This isn't something about how great I am. This is about how foolproof this system is. And any decent marketer that represents your business and you give them the leeway, give them the tools and the resources they need and invest the money, you put a monster like me behind that campaign, you're going to own any market in 12 months. This is how I would do it. First, let's go to Yelp and get 20 amazing reviews from our customers across a 90-day period. Then let's go to Thumbtack, and you guessed it, get 20 amazing reviews from your customers. And Thumbtack, unlike Yelp is more broad, Thumbtack is for price shoppers. So take a smaller service business element, let's say you're a carpet cleaner, instead of doing whole house carpet cleanings, in here you're doing spot removal or carpet stretches in apartments. Something small, low key, that you can get in and out and get a great review. A house. Go and grab 20 amazing reviews. Facebook, get 20, 30, 40 people to leave great recommendations for you. Angie's List, Home Advisor, which are one and the same. You guessed it, 20 to 30 reviews, and pay top dollar on all these. Get amazing placement. Invest. Your PPC company will, your marketing agency will show you how to get the most out of these platforms. But it's absolutely critical because all of these platforms do one thing. They live within Google. And everybody in every community uses these differently. Some have Nextdoor, some have just pepper your business on all of them and get amazing reviews everywhere. Now that you're on all of these, big old Google is going to come around and index this. Google is what gives value to Thumbtack. Google is what gives value to Home Advisor, because where do you go to find all these services? Onto Google. And now that Google is working in your favor, along the way, you've been optimizing your Google My Business. Now, your Google My Business houses all of the details about your business you want somebody to know about and reviews. And at the end of the day, your goal is to have 10 extra reviews on Google My Business that you have everywhere else. But all these other areas add validity to your Google My Business. Google indexes all these sites. And that's how it understands who you are. So as long as your brand name is correct across them and it's executed correctly, all of these will give citation context to your Google My Business. Also known now, as of this week or last week or something like that, as Google Business Profiles. But you'll see the symbol, that's what it means. This works 100% of the time, and it works for two reasons 100% of the time. Number one, you're easy to find, and people who have a problem that you solve will call you. Number two, and this is the big one, consistency over time. Most people don't want to do this. They don't want to spend the time, energy, and money to make their business amazing. And if you're a local small business owner and wondering what this guy over here is doing, well, he probably hired a monster like me and spent some money. That's the truth. I hope this makes sense. I hope this added some value. As always, give it a thumbs up, comment. I know this might be a little controversial of a video. Happy to have a conversation about this. But as always, good luck, y'all, and have a happy marketing experience.